In court today, there was a motion to question the jurors about the deadly shooting in Brooklyn Center.
Also, a use of force expert testified that a reasonable police officer would not have used the neck restraint that Chauvin used on George Floyd. Esme Murphy is outside the courthouse right now. Esme?
Hi there, Frank and Amelia. Well, today we did hear concerns from the defense about the death of Daunte Wright and the impact it would have on their case. We also heard from other expert witnesses, and we also heard from Philonise Floyd, one of George Floyd's younger brothers.
As the court, I'm sure, is aware, an officer-involved shooting took place in the city of Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. As a result of that, there was some fairly extensive civil unrest.
Derek Chauvin's defense attorney asked that jurors be sequestered and questioned about Daunte Wright's shooting death.
We have at least one juror who's a resident of that particular city.
But the prosecution argued the Brooklyn Center case is not connected.
It's a different case. It's a different department.
The judge sided with the prosecution, and jurors were not asked about the Brooklyn Center case. A prosecution use of force expert testified Officer Chauvin used deadly force on George Floyd.
Both the knee across Mr. Floyd's neck and the prone restraint were unreasonable, excessive, and contrary to generally accepted police practices.
And an expert cardiologist testified that in his view, George Floyd's death was absolutely preventable.
Do you have an opinion as to whether George Floyd would have lived if not for Mr. Chauvin's subdual and restraint of him for 9 minutes and 29 seconds?
Yes, I believe he would have lived.
George Floyd's brother Philonise offered emotional testimony as he introduced family photos, including this baby picture of George with his mother.
That's my oldest brother, George. I miss both of them.
There was a basketball photo from a Florida community college and one with his daughter, Gianna. Philonise says his brother was devastated by their mother's death.
George just sat there at the casket over and over again. He would just say, "Mama, Mama," over and over again.
And according to Pool Reporter's notes, they were all taking notes. They were all listening to every single word that Philonise Floyd had to say. Now, we do have a timeline on this trial. This is wrapping up pretty quickly here. The prosecution is going to rest their case tomorrow. The defense starts on Tuesday tomorrow. And then Friday actually might be a day off. Closing arguments will be Monday. So the jury will get this case early next week. Obviously, everybody will be watching and paying attention to that. Back to you, Frank and Amelia.
Thank you, Esme. In the meantime, you can follow with gavel-to-gavel coverage of the trial on CBSN Minnesota. You can use our app as well. Just scan the QR code on the screen right now, and you can download that app for free. We'll, of course, have full coverage with added analysis every day.